Stealth in DBD. You either love it or you hate it. But are things really so black and white? Let's dive into the fog and find out. I'm Rhyme, and this is Let's Talk About DBD, Stealth Edition. When you think of stealth from a survivor perspective, you often imagine survivors either hiding in corners of the map or in a random locker while the entire team struggles to carry their weight. And while there's definitely some truth to that, I believe this is an oversimplification of how stealth is used, or at least how it should be used. In my opinion, stealth can be broken down into three categories: passive, necessary, and aggressive. In this video, we'll go over when and how to utilize this polarizing tactic without getting flamed in the in-game chat. Let's get started. First, let's address the elephant in the room: passive stealth. The most hated and unfortunately most common style of stealth used by survivors, lovingly known as ratting. This playstyle slows the game to a crawl. Generators tend to go untouched, especially if ruin is in play, and players not using stealth have a much higher chance of being sacrificed because there's one less target for the killer to find. This kind of stealth really only works in a swift situation or for a pure support build. And even then, most players would rather have someone taking chase or working gens rather than being healed quietly. If you absolutely want to play passive stealth, I recommend bringing at least one stealth perk that can strongly affect gameplay, like Shadow Step, Babysitter, or Off the Record, as they have tangible impacts from other players' perspectives. Overall, the key thing to remember about passive stealth is just because the killer can't find you doesn't mean your teammates shouldn't be able to either. Necessary stealth is exactly what it sounds like. You're 2 hooks in, a few gens remaining, and all you need to do is live. I cannot overstate how impactful it is to have 4 survivors in play in a close game, even if they're all on death hook. Sometimes just being alive to heal teammates or open the exit gates can be the difference between a 4K and a 4 out. The hardest part is deciding when exactly stealthing becomes necessary. Every situation is different, but the way I decide is the bigger the difference between the number of gens needed and the survivors alive is the level of necessary stealth, with the exception of being on death hook. But what does that mean? Well, at the start of the match, there are 5 gens and 4 survivors, so that match has a +1 need for stealth. The reason for this is at the start of the game, you want to delay the first chase as long as possible and hopefully complete 1 gen before the first survivor is found and hooked. After that, you have 4 gens left and 4 survivors alive, giving the match 0 need for stealth, meaning you probably don't need to stealth, but you may want to stealth to get a safe unhook. On the opposite end, if all 4 survivors are alive and not on death hook in endgame, there is a -4 need for stealth. As those numbers go up or down, you adjust your levels of stealth accordingly. Using this as a guide, you typically should know when you should or shouldn't be stealthing. As you may know from my previous video, I am a big fan of chases, so it comes at no surprise that aggressive stealth is my favorite way to play stealth builds. This kind of gameplay requires quite a bit more knowledge than passive stealth, since it involves actively interacting with the killer while remaining as elusive as possible. Some examples of this kind of playstyle are hiding for flashlight or pallet saves, tailing setup killers to disrupt their power, or forcing a killer out of chase with evasive builds. The major downside with this kind of playstyle, if you can call it a downside, is that killers tend to tunnel survivors who do this. Killers seem to see this more as BMing than a playstyle, in the same way that survivors see guarding 3 gens as BMing. Personally, I don't agree, as there are ways to counter both of these tactics, but that's for another video. Unlike the other 2 forms, aggressive stealth can be used in or out of chase and have a direct impact on teammates. Again, personally, I feel this is the best and most fun way to play stealth as survivor. It offers the most combination of perks and the highest variety of playstyle, combining chasing and mind games. And finally, my thoughts on killer stealth. As a survivor, personally, I despise killer stealth, but not necessarily stealth killers. This is because when going against higher tiered killers using stealth for first hit, it eliminates what I think to be the best part of playing survivor, the chase. But as a killer, I think stealth can be one of the most fun DBD mechanics to work with. While not all killers need stealth, certain killers like Trapper, who's considered very weak in the DBD community, has add-ons that synergize well with stealth builds, letting him utilize perks in ways that stronger killers can't. It's in those moments where I think stealth on killer really shines. I don't think stealth is necessarily bad, but I do believe the way it's used is very problematic. And honestly, there's not much you, me, or behavior can do about it. People will play the game in a way that's fun for them. But I do think that by better understanding the pros and cons of stealth, we can make better decisions during matches and enjoy the game regardless. On a side note, I hope behavior utilizes the evasive status more for future perks. As for me, it gives all the benefits of stealth while still encouraging interactive gameplay. But that's just my opinion. What do you want to talk about next time? Let me know in the comments below. Hello, thanks for watching, especially if you made it this far. If you want more videos like this, please like and subscribe. And a special thank you to my 3 subscribers. Honestly, I love you guys and I'm super happy that you're enjoying the content enough to want to subscribe to a tiny channel like mine. If you want a shout out in the next video, let me know. I'd be more than happy to. But I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate you. Alright, later.